Hello and welcome to episode 89 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
This is random movie 7,973. It is true romance from 1993. There's so many R's in there for my
There's far too many.
Stupid voice. 1993, runs for 2 hours, got a Metascore of 59, a user score of 7.9, had a budget of 12.5, and it brought in a box office of 12.6.
Ooh, my groin. That's not great for them, is it?
Yeah. No, it was not. And this is interesting because, right, this is 93. QT, who wrote this, obviously, directed Reservoir Dogs in 92. This is out in 93. Then he directs Pulp Fiction 94. It's not as if he wasn't known. Reservoir Dogs was maybe a cult movie, maybe an underground hit, maybe.
I think what happened here, though, is that he wrote the screenplay for this, story for this, whereas he didn't direct it. It was Mr. Scott, Mr. Tony Scott, brother of the other Scott.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Did not
Not quite as famous as Mr. Ridley.
No. And yeah, like a lot of shot choices in production in this are not up to the standard of QT, right?
No, but it still has the wonderful dialogue that was put into the story. Obviously left there by Mr. QT for Mr. Scott to end the product. It would have been an awful lot better, in my opinion, had Mr. QT got to do it, but you can't have everything.
No, and I don't know. It wasn't that badly produced or directed. It was
more generic in production, which it's not badly produced at all, but it's not. You don't have the same attention to detail as you would get with QT.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times in this movie where it's very stress and tension building, and usually with a QT movie you get that sort of close-up, quick shot, quick edit.
Yeah,
like if you think of the basement bar and Inglourious Bastards, and what else? Pulp Fiction's pimp scene thing, right? Bring out the gimp.
Or it doesn't have the same level of tension building as that very, very famous, beautifully shot, beautiful everything farm scene in Inglourious Bastards.
Right. Oh, amazing. Yeah. The tension in that, and the change of the actor quality as well. I guess QT could get that out of the actors.
Well, you have an outstanding cast here, and they do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that extra 2 or 3% that QT drags out that just makes it something spectacular.
Yeah, and I think as well that Quentin has this encyclopedic knowledge of cinema history, and so he just sort of leans into that, I'm guessing, when he's on set, and probably, well, I think he admits that he steals a lot from the historic movies.
Well, of course he does, yeah. And why wouldn't you? That's what, you're not there to make something completely original. You're supposed to expand upon what's been done before. Otherwise, it's not an evolution.
Everything's a remix.
Damn straight.
A remix, which can be said for Hans Zimmer's xylophone music intro. You're So Cool.
Beautiful piece.
Music. Based on Karl Off's Gassenhauer.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
It's a lovely piece, though. It's used to good effect in this, actually. I'm a big fan of Mr. Zimmer's work.
And he of yours?
I doubt that.
Yeah.
He made the Zimmer frame, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
He knows you'll be using it soon enough.
Pretty much fucking there.
Yeah. Tony Scott directed Top Gun, Enemy of the State, Days of Thunder. This movie was
Scotty, don't.
Yeah. This movie was up against a previous episode of ours on its opening weekend. 1993 saw the release of The Fugitive on the same weekend.
Get out of there. That could explain its poor showing at the box office.
Yeah, Harrison Ford was a bit of a more of a draw than Slater.
To be honest, I actually like Slater in this, and I actually like Slater as an actor, but Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford. Yeah, it's not a fair matchup.
Yeah. So you do have Christian Slater as Clarence in this. You've got Patricia Arquette as Alabama, Dennis Hopper as Clifford, Clarence's dad. Val Kilmer as Elvis.
I love that. It's a beautiful little thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not necessary,
No.
but does it elevate the movie somewhat? It's weird.
It's a Quentin touch, and it reminds me of John Travolta speaking and talking to the mirror in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
as well. Just his little touch, a little something extra. Gary Oldman plays Drexel.
I love Oldman in this. Lovely little.
Yeah.
He's not in it for very long.
No,
he's horrible. It's great.
Yeah, Brad Pitt plays a druggy Floyd.
Again, a fantastic little cameo, almost.
Samuel L. Jackson lasts about 30 seconds.
Mother dead.
James Gandolfini, very good as Virgil.
Oh, how sinister. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it, but damn.
Yeah,
forgot
very good.
How horrible that scene was.
Yeah. I think Christopher Walken's scene was amazing. I loved his acting in it. I love
him and Hopper really work well together.
I loved him just looking around, smiling at the goons behind him. I thought it was just amazing the way he did that.
It's a fantastic scene.
Yeah. Tom Sizemore plays one of the FBI or detectives, I guess, near the end of the movie.
One of the narcs.
Yeah, they tend to spend a lot of their time just laughing and going, "Oh, I love this kid, Clarence." They kind of it gets a bit repetitive. There's a lot of cut scenes to them going, "Ah, he's funny. This guy's funny." Sort of, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who I did not appreciate their performance? I did not appreciate Michael Rappaport's performance as Dick Ritchie. I believe he turns the dial up to 11 and going past 10, he just loses the plot somewhat. He overacts it a bit.
There's a reason why he never really made it that big. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Friends, even.
That's true.
He's just not that good. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, no, you're a
bit average.
Every time
he's a bit more of an extra. I think he's kind of at the level his character's at in this movie. Unfortunately for him. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, every time he gets a bit too much airtime in this, and every time he has a scene, he just overplays it, overacts it, and he really just delivers his sentences really just on speed, basically. It's just, can you settle down? I know that might be your character, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not the best.
Maybe if QT had been there, he might have slapped him about and got something good out of him. But we'll never know.
Never know. So yeah, we have Clarence, who is a bit of an Elvis fan, and during the movie, you have a lot of Quentin dialogue. Like, you start off the movie with a diatribe about how Elvis is so great and so cool, and kung fu movies, all very Quentin fingerprints.
Sheba, going on about Sonny Sheba quite a lot at the start of the movie. It's a very Tarantino thing, which I appreciate. I'm not a big fan of Sonny Sheba, but I appreciate somebody nerding out on something like this. I do like that.
Yeah. So I guess he heads to the cinema to watch a Sonny Chiba trilogy.
Yeah, he tries to pick up a lady in the bar, and his he's doing okay, and his pickup line then falls back to, "So do you want to go to the cinema with me?" She's like, "Yeah, sure. What do you want to go see? 3 kung fu movies?" And she's like, "Toodles.
See you later."
Yeah, not a good pickup move.
No. We could get an intro of Detroit's sort of grim spectacle.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that they do that in this. It's grimy and smelly and horrible, and it kind of sets the scene for why Clarence is willing to do quite a lot to change his lot in life.
Yeah. So he heads to the cinema, and this is when we see Alabama introduction. Very energetic, very flirty.
Popcorn on the head.
Yeah, pours popcorn over and sort of
let me just rub your crotch. There you go.
Yeah, jumps in to sort of, they go, I wonder what she's up to here.
Yeah.
So basically they spend the night together, and there's a lot of Quentin dialogue, and he pours a lot of sugar into his coffee, and he brings her to his comic store. And
do you want to see Spider-Man #1?
Exactly, yeah. A lot of geek nerd Quentin Tarantino dialogue.
Yeah. Which I
Spends it-
appreciate very much.
Yeah, it was nice. It was rich. It kind of gives us a little bit of Clarence's character. We kind of see that Alabama is very sort of, I don't know, all over the place, sort of jumpy, energetic ball of energy.
But it's obvious, it's played well by Arquette that while she's a bit out of sorts or a bit nervous about stuff, she starts enjoying herself. I think she plays this quite well. I just want to throw out that it's my guess that Clarence is based on Mr. Tarantino himself.
Oh, controversial.
Well, I know, massively controversial. But he started working in a video store, and he liked to nerd out on things like Sonny Shiba, and he likes comic books. So he feels a bit like him, somebody who nerds out on something and gets overly focused on stuff.
Yeah. Thank God he didn't put himself into this acting role.
Oh God, no! He's a great director and a great writer, but damn, he can't act for crap.
Yeah, I just don't like him in Pulp Fiction when they go to Jimmy's house. It's just like he delivers his lines so weirdly. Just get somebody else in there. But whatever. I can forgive you for doing that.
He's in it for a wee bit, so we let it go.
Yeah, gourmet shit. Sorry, that's his whole coffee game in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink coffee, Jules, okay?
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. So you see Alabama the next day crying a lot outside on a nice scenic balcony and
post-coitus.
Yes, post everything. And she's crying because she basically says, "Listen, I'm a call girl. Lance paid me to spend the night with you because he said he thought you could do with it." And
lovely boss, I guess.
Very nice. Well done, Lance. Lance, of course, is the drug dealer in Pulp Fiction. I wonder, is it the same universe? It is the same. Every movie is the same universe, right? In Quentin Tarantino, that's the theory, anyway.
That's the theory, but I'm not so sure.
Fuck you, Lance. Answer.
Maybe.
I recorded Pulp Fiction onto cassette tape so I could listen to the dialogue when I was a teenager.
You absolute effing nerd.
Yeah. I wonder if these things are just popping into my head because I must have listened to it. So I must have had like 3 tapes or something.
Why didn't you just watch the movie over and over again as opposed to listening to it on cassette?
Because I wanted to listen to the dialogue. It was so bloody good.
It is amazing dialogue. I never went to those extremes.
Don't question my teenage
I am
ways.
questioning the shit out of him right now.
Well, Quentin would respect my...
He probably would. He likes nerding out and shit.
Yeah. Anyway, she admits to everything and she was like, "I think I love you," very quickly, and okay.
He's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Next scene, married,
tattoos, and wants to get Drexel's wants to get him back, and he hates the thought of him existing when he's alive.
Well, he's kind of dealing with it, and he's his head in the sink, and he's wetting his face, and he's like a bit stressed out. But it's not him who comes up with the idea. It's Elvis.
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
You can't let him. You can't be breathing the same air as him. And he's like, "Well, okay, if you say so, Elvis, I'll go kill him." So
kill the pimp.
Kill the pimp. Yeah, how would I get away with it? And he's like, "Well, cops aren't going to miss one more pimp, are they? They're not going to investigate it. They'll thank you for it."
Go to it. We must mention Samuel L. Jackson's quick scene before this happens, because we see Drexel and how sort of cutthroat he is, and he just gets some coke that Samuel L. dropped by, and he
big bag of coke. Yeah,
shotguns the hell out of him, Samuel L. and friend.
So, you got like 15 seconds of dialogue, Sam Jackson, then he's dead.
Yeah, but he had that. What he was saying though was totally just ready for Pulp Fiction next year. It was just, it was just so good. So yeah, the Drexel scene, quite good.
So good. I listen. I'm massive fan of Mr. Oldman, and he's just horrific in it. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the character he plays in Leon. In this.
Yeah,
just an effed up individual, just on the edge. You don't know what he's going to do. Very unpredictable. Played beautifully. There's one of my favorite bits in this is him, and then later on, as you say, Mr. Walken.
Mhm.
Mr. Walken.
Mr. For Walken. Yeah, there's so many things in this scene that sort of makes it a bit unique. And again,
The lampshade is nice. I like
the
that.
lampshade is exactly what I was just about to say.
Sorry,
Yes.
stole your thunder.
Yeah,
But
you
it is such a
bastard.
great scene, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Quentin Tarantino thing, and I don't know how much Tony Scott brought to this table. Read.
I have a sneaky suspicion that the tension and how good the scene is really down to Mr. Oldman. How he improvised a lot of it, I would imagine.
I like the way
That's what I'm going to take. That's what I'm going to believe
take
it anyway.
Take it. I remember I like the way Drexel's like, oh, you're all amped up and everything. You didn't even recognize the breasts on the TV, and Clarence is going,
But he does.
I've seen this before. Yeah, it was good. It's good attention to
cool.
detail.
It's great little bit of coolness. Like, I think the point of Clarence the whole way through it is that he's cool. He doesn't get phased. He doesn't freak out the whole way through this. And I think, again, it's projection of Tarantino, how he would like to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He has this sort of persona that maybe I don't know if he believes that he has that persona or he just wants to have that persona. I think being told by Elvis to go and kill the pimp was something that he wanted to do to sort of reach to that persona level.
Yeah.
The fight is quite good. It's very Tarantino-esque. We're like broken records here, but lots of blood, lots of sort of tension with the shooting, and bang, bang.
Excellent violence.
Excellent violence. Great violence.
And Gary Oldman, when he mounts Clarence, it's horrible. But how he's dispatched is also equally horrible.
It reminded me maybe if Tarantino was in charge, he might have done the actual a close up of what his head looked like, because he did that in Inglourious Bastards when he was getting
Hitler,
he was baseballing. He was Hitler, and as well as the baseball bat to the head of the guy.
That was grim.
Yeah. So maybe a few years later, he would have actually seen the aftermath of gunshots to the head.
Nice.
Anyway, they have some hamburgers and find the Coke in the suitcase. This is a tasty burger.
I believe it's from the Big Kahuna shop.
Yeah. What is it? The Big Kahuna burger.
Big Kahuna burger. He loves suitcases, Tarantino, in his stories.
That's true. Burgers and suitcases.
Yeah, they're always popping up.
Yeah, he's got his fingerprints, and that's fine. There's no burgers in Inglourious Bastards, but I guess that's fine.
It would be a bit weird.
Yeah. This is a tasty bratwurst.
Schnitzel.
This is a tasty
This is ein tasty Schnitzel.
Ein lecker Schnitzel.
That sounds great to me. I want to watch that.
So they find Coke in a suitcase and go, that's nice. Have some of that.
Yeah.
So he needs to go. So what do you think of his decision to go to see Mr. Hopper, his daddy, after 3 years?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a weird dynamic, but then I think Clarence is a very weird individual, so I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It's a little jump in the plot that I sort of didn't grasp hold of. It's a little ignorant of Clarence, a little bit selfish, perhaps, putting his dad into the bullseye. Let
me play this for you then. A scenario. Mr. Clarence is a complete and utter selfish asshole the whole way through this. He manages to end the lives of tens of people, ruin the lives of others. It's like, how many people die so he can get a few quid?
That's true.
He's a prick, if you really look at it. He's a monster of a man. Just because he wants to get some cash. Because he's got everything he wants. He's got the love of his life. Happy day, he's got a job. But no, he wants to sell the Coke, and, sure, people will die, but that's okay.
Live a life of Elvis proportions.
Yeah. So it's...
Well, they're definitely not heroes. They're anti-heroes in this movie.
Oh, very much. They're criminals, and they're happy enough with the concept that they're going to sell a bunch of narcotics for cash. And he's happy enough to kill people from the very start. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's not a great man. He's not, as you say, he's an anti-hero. He's a bit of a prick.
Bit of a prick.
So I think it kind of fits that he might put his dad in the firing line just so he can get what he wants.
Yeah. We have a little segue here into seeing Dick Ritchie, played by Michael Rappaport's audition, which is terrible.
For TJ
Hooker. Yeah. You've got William Shatner on your hood. Act like you have to get rid of him or something. Yeah. And like, whatever. I'd rather forget that Dick Ritchie's part of this movie.
His audition is just as good as his acting in this movie.
Yeah, true. As you say, he plays himself in this movie.
Yep. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Crap.
We do also get a word here that Blue Boyle is after the coke.
Yeah.
So
that's not great.
That's not great. So we kind of know that it's going to come after. So that's the little bit of tension that's been creeped up now. So there's somebody after them. Even though Drexel's dead, the coke owners will be shortly on their tail.
Idiot. He leaves.
That's
because we see the driver license in the hand of Drexel at one point, just before he receives a bullet to the head. But he doesn't think to pick the bloody, like, again, he may be a prick, but he's also a bit of an idiot. Yeah, he's just got a whole lot of confidence.
He's very immature, and he made a lot of mistakes in this. They leave his dad and blah blah blah. We next see that Christopher Walken is appearing to his dad's, and this is the best scene in the movie, I think. Purely because of Christopher Walken's approach.
It's great dialogue, but it is what Tarantino does best, is conflict and dialogue, and a friendly conversation almost, but it's not friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know there's a lot at stake here, and you can see it in Hopper's eyes. He's like, I'm kind of toasty, aren't I? But
yes.
It's a great piece of dialogue, and as Mr. Walken is getting angry, and he's smiling, he's looking at the lads behind him.
Love it.
You just know bad things are going to happen, Mr. Hopper. Yeah. But it's how it's delivered. It's just golden.
I love when the thing about it is it's 2024. This was 93. Tarantino had a very
fond of the N-word.
Exactly. Prolific use of the N-word. And so Mr. Hopper tells a story really just slamming the Sicilian ethnology. Is that the right way to put it? Ethnicity.
Yes.
And so he brings the N-word into it, and obviously everybody's laughing, but it's obviously a massive insult to Christopher Walken's character, Blue's consul.
Yeah.
I was actually going, how do they find...
It's awful, really. Oh, the fridge. No.
Oh, found something.
Yeah.
The address
of Get ready to get happy, I think is the phrase the guy says to him.
Yeah. So they head to LA, and we do get to see Mr. Pitt as a drugged up Floyd.
So good. What an easy piece to play, but he plays it well.
This is where I wrote, Rappaport can't act way too much.
Yeah.
Because he's basically going back and forth with Clarence here, but Clarence is going, come on, you said you'd hook me up with something. And Rappaport's response is, I don't know, man, I don't know. It's, I can't do it. Well, there's one guy that I know.
Yeah, it's not delivered great. He's kind of crap.
Yeah, he's kind of crap.
I kind of feel sorry for him because he's surrounded by quality, and that just makes it all the worse.
Yeah. Well, we do have. He does bring them to somebody and meets them on a roller coaster.
Good old Elliot.
Elliot, who's a little bit of a pansy.
Yeah, he doesn't like roller coasters.
He's a little bit of a dweeb, a little bit weak, a little bit of a pushover.
Yeah,
for everybody.
He's an assistant to a director called Lee something or other.
Yeah, Lee Donowitz.
Lee Donowitz, that's right. And yeah. But he has the ear of Lee Donowitz, who is somebody who can shift a lot of coke into the Hollywood era. And it's he's an important connection.
He is, and so yeah.
And the fact that he's a dweeb and he's easily manipulated is useful later on. Otherwise, the tension in the end scene wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it, it basically just builds up to why he wears a wire later on, because he's a pushover and he gets himself stupidly caught.
Yeah, that's not his finest moment.
No, we get to see Floyd telling James Gandolfini where they all are.
He's like, "Oh yeah, man. It's like they're in the very end, man. Yeah. Just go up the road. Yeah. Cool. Do you want to smoke some pot?"
Nope.
I love how stupid Pitt is in this. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he plays it well. He plays as a dumb, druggy hippie very well indeed.
He does, yeah.
Well, so they head back, and there is a crazy scene with Gandolfini and Arquette in the hotel room.
It's a rough one, really, in terms of violence.
It's Tarantino.
Gandolfini, like he's just
he's great.
So good. There's a reason why he was in Sopranos as the main character. He is intimidating and nice, and then horrible, and then nice, and then even more freaking horrible.
Yeah, I also think that give Tarantino a couple of more years and he would have fucked up Arquette's face more.
Yeah. I don't. It's. Yeah, I don't know if I'd wanted any more violent. There's a reasonable large amount of violence in this scene.
Yeah, she finally gets the best of him by corkscrewing his foot.
It's a good move.
Aerosoling his face with fire and shotgunning him.
Shotgunning the shit out of him.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, she kills the living crap out of him now. She takes one hell of a beating.
Oh, yeah. And then Clarence comes and says, "Oops, better get out of here."
Let's go hang out at the airport.
Yeah. Lee then gets caught, and that's how he gets...
Oh, Mr. Elliot.
Sorry, Elliot gets caught, and that's how he gets entangled.
In his face.
Yeah, he gets interrogated by Tom Sizemore. And actually, this is the second time that the phrase, did you cop that on? A phrase from Hamlet gets said twice in this movie.
Oh, hit me with the Hamlet.
Something rotten in the state of Denmark. Sizemore says that, and Clarence said it earlier on.
I'm pretty sure that phrase is used a couple of times in other Tarantino movies. Because
Really?
there's another phrase later on. Is it later on? Oh, actually, before this, about... Oh, he's chatting to Elliot about trying to sell the drugs to him. Basically saying, do I have big boobs? And a woman, why are you trying to F me like a... And that's used in Pulp Fiction as well.
Yeah. Oh, there was Samuel L. Jackson's dialogue in this was just pure going into
Lifted,
the boys,
yeah.
into shoot the boys in the head and get their suitcase. That was just pure, Tarantino.
Yeah, so he plagiarized himself, which is okay, I guess.
It's fine. It's 1 year later. He's like, that went well. Samuel L. Jackson did that well in that True Romance movie. I'll just get him to do more of it in Pulp Fiction.
Considering he didn't get to direct that movie, he was thinking, well, I'm just going to use that again.
I ain't tickling or nothing. Anyway.
Anywho.
So he's going to wear a wire, Elliot.
Yeah. He isn't the coolest of people for doing something like that. And he's a crap actor.
Yeah. Clarence and Alabama have a very sort of poignant airport conversation, which is very sort of Pulp Fiction-y, just sort of with a background of an airport and just, post Alabama getting beat the hell up, just sort of settling themselves down and saying,
it shows the motivation again as to why they're bothering to do this incredibly dangerous thing.
Yeah. And then the next scene is again more like Michael Rappaport that we shouldn't get.
You got the good gig, man.
And then he says, "I got the part." Clarence, nothing. What was he going to tell him?
Yeah, it's. I don't think this scene needed to happen at all.
No, because we got the part. Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
Nobody cares. Clarence didn't
No.
care. I didn't care.
No. Yeah. So basically, we're ending now. We're going towards the culminating scene here, where the baddies, the sort of Blue Lou Boyle gangster gang, are getting geared up to go.
That's a lot of
gearing
guns.
up to go. There's a lot of guns with the Blue Lou gang.
Yeah.
The cops are wiring up Elliot, and they're
prepping, and then
our
Clarence
protagonists.
rolls up.
Yeah, our protagonists go into the
Elliot
elevator.
meets him there. He's looking very calm. No, wait, he's not.
Not. So Clarence goes nuts in the elevator and puts a gun to his head and just goes nuts.
Yeah, it's a good scene, but I don't think it fits story wise.
I don't know. He put it out of nowhere. He got it out of nowhere.
Yeah, he decides to suddenly not trust Elliot. Maybe he's freaking out because Gandolfini just beat the crap out of his wife. So maybe he's just freaking out, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of that, a bit of paranoia, but he soon settles down.
Yeah, when Elliot starts crying.
Yeah.
I wish somebody come in and take me away.
Yeah, he was pretty much crying to the police at this stage.
Yeah, please take me away. I wish somebody come in and just make this stop.
In the meantime, the cops are all laughing, going, "Oh, this Clarence guy's funny."
Yeah, Elliot's dead.
Yeah, he's going to kill him.
He's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. Oh, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't. All right, let's go. So, yeah, the culminating scene is quite lengthy, and the shootout. A lot of bullets. So they meet up with Lee, this messenger dude, this guy, and then the cops burst in. I don't know if I don't really think there's a lot of movie talk.
I like the conversation he has with Lee. It's just two nerds talking about movies. I like that.
Yeah.
And I like, Tarantino would dig a conversation like that. He'd love just talking crap about movies.
I like the Dr. Zhivago sort of
references.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. So actually, we missed the part where Floyd is digging at home, digging away at the sound garden when he's getting high.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's how the Blue Lou's gang knows to go to the hotel room.
Yeah, there's like 10 of them standing around with shotguns, and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, you need to go to, I can't remember the Ambassador Hotel."
Yeah.
How do we get there? And he gives them full instructions.
Yeah, head on down.
You want to have a go at my bong? Somebody cocks a shotgun. He's like, "Oh, okay. No, don't worry about it. Just I'll see you later."
It's nice that they didn't shoot his head off.
Well, why would they? He was very useful.
Well, they probably looked at him and he's not going to remember this.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a sort of conversation. They have movie talk. Clarence, again, for the second time, I think, puts like 5 cups of sugar into his coffee.
Yep, he doesn't stop until the spoon can stand by itself.
That's true. That's what he says. Yeah, Lee is not trusting at the start, but he sort of has a bit of a conversation. And he goes, "All right, that's fine. Give him
Clarence
the money."
is a good story, in fairness. It's quite a believable story. His story is, well, my friend who's a cop got access to a bunch of coke from the evidence locker, nicked it, and then I convinced him that I could sell it. And he's like, yeah, how did you manage to convince him? I bullshit him.
Yeah.
Complete liar. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I thought he might have sort of put a little bit of reality into it and said, "You know what? It was my dad. He's the cop."
Yeah. But then that's more.
I thought that was
crosshairs on his dad.
Yeah, well, it didn't stop him the first time.
Yeah, you're already dead. Might as well.
Yeah. Anyway, the cops are listening in, and all right, go.
That's the deal. Let's kick in some doors.
So there's a bit of a standoff because Lee has 2 gung-ho goons, hired goons.
It's one thing you don't know about me. I hate cops.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But then we see the Blue Lou gang kick in the door, and they come in.
And everybody's like, what?
It's like Reservoir Dogs.
You put down your guns.
Scene.
No, you put down your guns. It's great. I love it. It's a fantastic standoff.
It's a fantastic standoff, and obviously
Tarantino loves a Mexican.
He loves a
standoff.
Mexican standoff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
And other stuff. Yeah, when everybody starts firing, of course, it's chaos and feathers fly everywhere, coke flies everywhere. Of course, there has to be little elements like that to keep it nice.
I love what kicks it off, though. Elliot starts motioning to one of the cops, going, can I go now?
Idiot.
And then Lee, who's his boss, just freaks out and goes, F you, MFer, and pours coffee over his head or something, which prompts one of the cops to shoot him, and then chaos.
Yeah. Chaos ensues. In the meantime, Clarence is in the bathroom listening to Elvis.
You're really cool, I love you. I like you. I always have, as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that noise? Oh, crap.
Oh, shit. He comes out and gets clipped by a bullet.
Yeah, straight away. Just opens the door. Yeah. Poop.
So obviously, Alabama thinks he's dead and is crying over his body. And in the meantime, there's one cop and one goon left.
Yeah.
And the cop is about...
There's another guy. There's a goon and a mobster and a cop.
Oh.
Mobster ain't dead yet, baby.
Yeah. So again, obviously everybody cleans out each other.
Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Everybody's dead. Downstairs is a mobster holding some randomer hostage as the two lovebirds exit stage right. Yeah.
Snake out.
With a bag.
With a bag of money.
Not the coke. That's too much hassle. Money's easier.
Money. And then we have a Alabama voiceover to them on a beach with a kid. Big time jump.
Yep. The end.
You're end. Happy. Nice little Alabama, looking very happy, and nice voiceover to wrap it all up. Tarantino-esque, but not totally Tarantino.
Yeah, it's flavored. It's
flavored
by Tarantino, but not actually directed, and doesn't have a lot of the touches you would expect from a Tarantino movie, which is a shame because it is actually, in my opinion, a good script.
Yeah. Just going through my scores here. What did you give plot?
Plot. I give it 3.75.
All right, I gave 3.5. Similar.
Yeah, it's a good plot. Maybe a couple of little holes in it. It is one of Tarantino's first pieces, so you got to give him something. But it's got some nice twists. It's got interesting conflict. The dialogue just drags it along, lifts it up, elevates it. Fantastic in that respect.
Yeah. I gave acting 3.5. Very good. Walken, Hopper. Slater, I can give or take. He's fine. He's okay. Rappaport brings it down.
He suits this part, though. He's overly confident, bit of an idiot.
Yeah. Arquette's very good. I think Arquette's better than him.
Oh, she's very good in this.
Gandolfini.
So good.
Very nice.
Yeah, I put 3.75. I love the acting in this. I couldn't, as you say, Dick is crap. Let's be honest. He's awful. He drags it down. Aside from that, everybody else is on point.
Yeah. Sound brackets track, I'm giving 3.25. I think the xylophone theme song is quite nice. It's a little bit weird, but I guess that's why it's intentional.
Don't be slagging off Hans Zimmer here now.
I'm not slagging him off. 3.25 is good, but
I give 3.75 again because it's a very nice number.
Across the board.
I had it at 4, and there was one song that really annoyed me, and I had to drag it down. I didn't want to drag it down to 3.
Hello, baby.
No, what was it now? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But it's a good soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack. It's not a Tarantino soundtrack, unfortunately.
It's not handpicked by him. I bet he did have it in the script, though. I bet he did have notes going. Yeah, this is when this song plays.
Yeah, I would imagine he did. But there are places where this music just doesn't fail per se, but there's slight misjoins. Whereas Tarantino wouldn't have got that. He'd have matched dialogue and matched scenes perfectly. That's just attention to detail, really.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think the xylophone theme tune is very nice and very cutesy and all that, but I just think it's disjointed, as you said. And about a couple of times it pops up, and I'm like going, it's like a children's TV show.
Yeah,
but maybe that's the vibe they're going for.
Perhaps.
sort of.
Listen, I don't think if that song was in a Tarantino movie, it would have been edited and spliced in better, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Production, I'm going 3.5.
I put 3. Maybe it's me being a bit cranky about it not being produced by Tarantino or directed by Tarantino. I think with the script, with the actors you have, with the dialogue, this should be a better movie if somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, I think it was pretty slickly produced. It's definitely not Tarantino-esque.
Well, 3 is a damn good score.
Yeah.
But there's wiggle room to go up to the 4s and the pluses. Like there's improvement needed, potential improvements that could have been done.
Yeah,
still really good.
Good movie. If you haven't watched it, and you're a Tarantino fan, probably should watch it, even though he didn't direct it. It's got a few fingerprints of Tarantino.
Oh, it's very much a Tarantino flavored flick.
Wasn't received too well. Kenneth Turan in the Los Angeles Times back in '93 gave it 10 out of 100. 10%. Yeah, 10 out of 100. He said, it is hard to say what is more dispiriting about True Romance, the movie itself, or the fact that someone somewhere is sure to applaud its hollow dime store nihilism and smug pseudo-hip posturing as a bright new day in American cinema.
Wow.
He didn't
Negative
like it.
Nelly, eh?
Negative Nelly. Mick LaSalle in the San Francisco Chronicle back in '93 gave it 100 out of 100. Anybody who talks about True Romance has to start with the writing. It's dazzling, and scene after scene, Tarantino surprises the audience, even while coming up with dialogue that rings much more true than anything you could have anticipated.
Yeah, I agree with the dialogue. Yeah,
dialogue drives it. It's not a movie without the dialogue.
That's like any Tarantino movie, though.
Exactly.
It's all about the dialogue.
They're not innovative in their plot at all. They're innovative in the dialogue and
interaction of characters, and it's Tarantino 101. If the dialogue is crap, it's not a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, Kill Bill is a revenge kung fu movie.
Yeah,
Inglourious Bastards is World War II.
The dialogue in that
mission movie. Pulp Fiction is a mishmash crime thriller.
Yeah,
but without that dialogue,
they're all just boring rehashes of existing genres.
Exactly, but that's exactly what he wanted to do. QT, he wanted to bring them kicking and screaming into the 20th century,
and he knows how to do that, baby, in a big way.
He sure did. Okay, let's throw this suitcase of coke into the air and shoot it.
I'm going to just sit back and smoke with Floyd here until this is gone.
Good. All right. So that is episode 89 done and coke dusted, I guess.
Nice.
So next episode is episode 90, which is the recap of our last 9 movies. So we will not randomly spin for an episode for a movie for next episode. So if you haven't shared or liked or told your grandmother about our podcasts, please do so now, and then we'll see you on episode 90 for our recap. Bye bye.
Cheerio.